Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
As Governor Whitmer extends the stay-home order, there are some positive signs coming out of Detroit in the fight to flatten the curve and give healthcare workers some much-needed relief. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. If you're joining us for the first time today, the big headline, Governor Whitmer extending the stay-at-home order for the rest of April.
Yeah, here's a look at Michigan's numbers and trends. The number of new cases in our state increasing by 1,158 for a total of just over 21,500. The number of new cases, though, declining for the second straight day.
Sadly, the same cannot be said for the number of deaths. Michigan losing another 117 lives, pushing the total now to 1,076 people.
And in her news conference this afternoon, Governor Whitmer acknowledged growing concerns about damage to Michigan's economy, but said she'll continue to prioritize human lives.
We have two crises on our hands. One is an economic crisis and the other is a health crisis. I am talking with a lot of thought leaders on the economy and in business. But I'm going to always be making every decision based on my conversations with Dr. Khaldun and our medical community, because we've got to be smart on both fronts. And you can't re-engage on the economic side without knowing that you're doing the right thing on the health side.
Speaker of the House Lee Chatfield immediately took to Twitter, calling the stay-home extension the wrong call, taking issue with the governor using her authority to decide which services are essential.
Meanwhile, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan today expressed some optimism about how many of the beds will be needed at the field hospital inside the TCF Center in downtown Detroit.
The mayor says based on hospital crowding, he believes the first 250 beds will be needed, but there is a chance the full 1,000 beds may not be.
But if we as a community continue to treat this the way we have in the last few weeks, I think it's possible we're not going to need those 1,000 beds. And I truly think the single best report card on how well we're doing on our social distancing is going to be how many of those beds we end up using. And I'm going to watch with interest in the coming weeks, as I know everybody is. But if we do, in fact, bend the curve, you'll see it in a very physical way.
Mayor said he was encouraged by his latest trip to the grocery store, in which he said every single person he saw was wearing a mask. Now, there's no shortage of research on the new coronavirus. Keeping up with it, though, is the challenging part.
It really is, and he's been doing a great job. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge spends hours every day keeping current, and today he's here with 3 new studies, Frank, adding to our understanding of the virus.
Papers have been officially peer-reviewed and formally published. Now, the first one is especially timely because of the recent reports of a zoo tiger becoming infected with SARS-CoV-2, as well as scattered reports of pets with positive tests. The question is, can animals catch and transmit the virus? A new Chinese study finds cats are susceptible to both becoming infected and transmitting the virus to each other. The study also found ferrets who have similar respiratory tracts to humans can become infected as well. Now, dogs, pigs, chickens, and ducks were not susceptible to the infection. These results will need further validation, but in the meantime, if you are sick with COVID-19, you should heed the CDC guidance and avoid contact with your pets. And this study would suggest especially your cat. The other important takeaway is that as vaccines are being developed, ferrets might be a valuable animal model to test effectiveness. Now, if you've been looking for a reason to quit smoking, another new paper suggests COVID-19 may be it. Prior research suggests smokers have at least double the risk of suffering severe outcomes when infected. Well, now a new study suggests why. Smokers develop more of the ACE2 receptor. That's the protein that SARS-CoV-2 uses to infect us. Big picture, smoking does more than hurt lung function. It probably also makes it easier for the virus to infect you. Now, finally, there's been a lot of debate about the effect warmer, sunnier spring and summer weather might have on virus spread. So a new study looking at meteorologic data compared to infections in China actually found there was no change with warmer temperatures or additional UV exposure, aka more sunlight. Now, clearly the researchers weren't able to sample a full year of data since the virus has only been known for several months, but they were able to look at different regions with much warmer, sunnier weather. Now, there is still reason to hope that summer might bring a change, but honestly, we shouldn't count on it based on that research. Back to you.
We will have to just wait and see. Okay. Thanks, Dr. McGeorge.
Well, we know this virus has put a lot of people out of work. Well, I'm sitting in the dark at the moment. But today we're getting to see just how many lives have been impacted across the country. More than 16 million people have filed for unemployment since the outbreak began in Michigan. That number in our state, that number more than 800,000. Today we spoke with the director of the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, who says he thinks the numbers will level off. He said with state and federal money, people are eligible for $962 per week until the end of July.
The money is already flowing, and that extra $600 from the CARES Act is going to start flowing in the next few days. So folks are going to see an increase to their benefits very shortly. And then again, we are committed to making sure that every single person eligible in Michigan gets their benefits.
D'Onofrio says they will soon make an announcement about a new filing system for independent contractors. The state has hired extra workers to help with the flood of phone calls they've been receiving, but encourages people to file online if they can.
Governor Whitmer is standing by her initial decision not to include landscaping on the list of essential services. But now some local leaders are coming out and saying they won't try to stop businesses that are out mowing lawns. Paula Tutman spoke with one of the louder voices in this fight, Warren Mayor Jim Fouts.
A law with very short teeth has very little bite, specifically when it comes to these ongoing challenges of what is and is not considered an essential business. Various cities throughout Metro Detroit are saying when it comes to grass cutting and lawn management, it is essential these companies be allowed to work. In fact, this is what I asked Mayor Jim Fouts of Warren on a partial video call today. Do you feel like you're working within the dispensation? Or are you just saying, you know what, this doesn't make any sense. We're not going to write any tickets. This is how we're going to do it. Which one are you saying? Fouts points to this email exchange from the governor when he asked for clarification on the landscaping question. Her response in part, except if the service is necessary to maintain and improve the safety, sanitation, and essential operations of a residence.
My interpretation is this is an exception.
Sprinkled throughout Facebook, municipalities say they will not ticket landscaping companies because they fall under the essential category of general health and welfare.
When it gets tall, you have mice, you can have rats, you can have mosquitoes. The neighborhood starts looking blighted, and blight begets blight.
Every single exception to a stay home, stay safe order makes this more porous and makes it less likely to work. It means more people are going to get sick, more people are going to die, and our economy is going to suffer for longer.
Mayor Fouts makes it clear that this is about grass management, cutting, edging, vermin control. Anything that has to do with beautification, like flower planting and curb appeal, is not included. The question really does become, at this point, whether or not the governor does indeed provide complete clarity or whether or not this is indeed a blink. Paula Tutman.
Yeah, all right, Paula. Well, it's easy to forget. Courts and the legal process also being impacted by the coronavirus. The Michigan Supreme Court now giving judges the option to use technology to help continue some court actions. But as our consumer investigator Hank Winchester reports, some lawyers have concerns about that.
The coronavirus has impacted almost every aspect of our daily lives, including the legal process. You may be surprised to see how some cases are moving forward and the challenges others are facing.
The court system almost at a standstill here in Michigan because of the coronavirus. Here's legal expert Neil Rockine.
This disease and the requirement that we shelter in place for our own protection, the protection of others, has really put the legal system in a bind, because the legal system is dependent on making appearances in court.
Judges using their own discretion, some using Zoom to hear cases, and as you can imagine, that brings up its own challenges.
And in some respects, they're adequate, but in most respects, they're not. It's virtually impossible for me to have that kind of confidential communication with the client. I can't stop the client from speaking. We can't encourage the client. I can't whisper to him or her. We can't write a note to him or her. But as long as the client and you have to communicate in real time, in the middle of a hearing, these video conferencing technologies are just not adequate.
We have more advice from our legal expert, Neil Rockhind, in regards to navigating the criminal and court system during the coronavirus pandemic. Everything you need to know can be found on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
All right, Hank, a special meeting is going to take place next month to name a new Macomb County prosecutor. That meeting scheduled for Wednesday, May 20th at noon. Of course, last month, former prosecutor Eric Smith resigned after being charged with corruption due to the coronavirus pandemic. The meeting is going to be conducted via Zoom. One person has announced their intention to run for Macomb County prosecutor, that being Republican State Senator Pete Lucido. All right, quite the sampler platter of weather today. Let's check in with Ben.
Yeah, and none of it good, Devin. This has been a huge switch from what we had yesterday. Wait till you see the temperature change right now, the gusts, and what we're expecting for wind chills tomorrow morning. That's next.
The governor extending the stay-at-home orders. While we're home, so many of us have the urge to purge, but what we're kicking to the curb is overwhelming our garbage collectors. And tonight at 6, they're asking you to do something to help lighten their load.
Local 4 and ClickOnDetroit.com have launched a new initiative called Food for Frontline. It's a community-wide effort to help both frontline workers and local restaurants, too. If you'd like to donate meals to Metro Detroit area hospitals, go to forthefrontline.clickondetroit.com. We'll be right back.